Good afternoon and very welcome to everyone for joining Hardman & Co today at the Investor Forum. My name is Richard Angus and I'm the Head of Business Development here at Hardman & Co. I will start to introduce Windward, where we are lucky to have Ami Daniel here, the CEO and co-founder today, to tell us about the company. Windward is a leading predictive intelligence company fusing its AI and maritime expertise to digitize the global marine industry. And its customers include leading participants such as banks, government agencies, energy companies, and shipping businesses. So I think I'm going to hand straight over to you, Ami, and we'll catch up in about 15 minutes' time. Thank you.
So thank you. It's great to meet you guys. Very excited. So let me take a step back. Ami Daniel, co-founder and CEO of a company called Windward. We're what we believe is the leading maritime AI company in the world. As you know, shipping is all around us. 90% of the world's trade is transported by shipping. Everything you eat, drink, the iron that people build houses from, the oil, obviously, gas and so forth is transported by shipping. The company was founded in 2011, so we're about 13 years old. We're a specialized data provider with an AI-powered platform, a blue-chip company customer base. We've taken the company public in London about 3 years ago. And AI has really been our bedrock, if you will. In the last year, we've extended that to generative AI solutions. We have 3 generative AI products right now with general availability with customers, making real revenue. And I'm going to tell you that story today. Feel free to ask any questions later today. So shipping is old, but AI will transform the industry. These are the drivers of our business. Geopolitical pressure and sanctions compliance. Obviously, President Trump is back. And we believe, actually, strategically, this is very good for our company. Number one, because of the maximum pressure on Iran. I think that's clear. And they would have more requirements. Secondly, because that will provide clarity and consistency in the next 4 years in the US. It doesn't matter what their policy is. The House, the Congress, and the President are all led and controlled by Republicans. Decarbonizations, many of our customers already work with us on this. Reporting for decarbonization and reducing emissions. Supply chain pressures. Obviously, we know now that the Houthis have been added for about a year now. So the Red Sea issues, just this week, I think you had a strike in Canada, another new storm in the Caribbean. So I think that's evident. And obviously, AI is transforming the industry. I'd like to highlight that AI is not just transforming the vendor side, which is us, but also the customer side, which is seeing more demand, or showing more demand, which is the enterprises. So we have a subscription model which is highly scalable. I believe, according to Canaccord, we're the fastest growing software company in the UK stock market. If you take all of the UK stock market and refine it according to companies with 80% margin, which are growing more than 20% and convert 100% of their cash flow conversion, I think there's 3 companies in all the market, including the main market. We're the fastest growing, which is great. So we're a subscription business. So we sell access to our software. This is our half-year report. So we've grown year over year 35% in ACV, which is our annual recurring revenue, which is a great predictor of the future revenue, and 37% on year-over-year revenue growth. We're about 170 team members and more than 200 customers. So obviously, generative AI has taken the world by storm since the launch of ChatGPT. We're what's called an applied AI company, which means we build generative AI applied solutions. So we don't build models per se. We use models, combining it with our data to provide customers value. The bedrock of doing that is our data. So we take 4 types of data sources. Number one is public data, which is, for instance, a ship went into a port in Europe. The second is, and somebody puts it on the web. Second is commercial data. So you can buy data from satellites. You can buy data from ship brokers and so forth. The third is private data, Some customers give us their data in order to integrate it into our products, whether it's ownership data or their contracts. The fourth pillar is Windward generated data. It's data we generate ourselves. For instance, two ships met in the middle of the sea and transport oil. Nobody gives you that. We combine these four data types into our own data feed, and we serve it to our customers, which engage with it. They like it, they hate it, they're happy, they're not happy, and so forth. And they give us feedback every day through the platform. And that is curated by our team and fed back into the models and improves the outcomes. So this virtual cycle helps our data get better every single day. And the more customers we have, the better our data is. So we use AI to enrich these data layers from raw data into real decision making, from a blip in the middle of the ocean, a weather forecast in whatever port, a news item for a strike, to we combine these together to serve a decision. Should you hire this vessel to move oil? Like we do for many, many customers, 3 energy majors, key miners, key traders in the world, so forth. Or another example, 2/3 of our revenue is public sector. So we combine this data, we enrich it with AI and help our customers understand who is smuggling drugs right now, fentanyl on the way to the United States. And indeed, we have about 18 US federal agencies as customers. Over the last year or so, we've added a layer, our first generative AI product, which is in production, called My Expert. It's a customizable agent. And when I say agent, think of it like a human being, okay? So this human being comes on top of all this data and helps our customers, which are struggling with hiring, onboarding, training. It helps them analyze the data and get to the decision faster. It could save them a day's work in a second. And what this generative AI agent does, and it's an expert, so it's an expert in compliance, or expert in intelligence, or expert in supply chain. We have multiple personas of this agent. It helps them interact with the data and do their work better, faster, and in a more efficient way. And I think we're the first movers in maritime generative AI. As far as I know, we're the only company with general availability products based on generative AI in this market. I think the benefits are clear. We have our own proprietary data, and our data is our advantage in this case. We've been building this in partnership with AWS. We've hosted last week about 15 customers to an executive briefing with AWS, which was great. So it helps us increase our total available market, increase our differentiation, increase our win rates, and actually raise prices for our customers because they get more value. And I think high level, it also allows us to not just use our data, which is what you see in the top left end here, but also now enable the customers to give us and use their data, which we're doing it increasingly. Actually, we have many customers in production with their data in our platform. So that gives another advantage, but another moat, because once the customers are working with us and give us their data, and this is interpreted by the agents and by the AI, actually, I think it's much harder to compete with us, and just the value per customer goes up to the roof. My Expert, which I think I mentioned, or MAI Expert, is the first agent in the maritime world, which is a trademark, and it runs on our proprietary data, but also proprietary knowledge base, which means think of it like a person we send to our own private university in the company, and we make that person really good at what he does because we've been at it for many years now. So we really know what we're doing. And that proprietary understanding that reports these regulations, these nuanced understanding of the world, we teach that person. And now you get to hire that person to work for you for $5,000 a year, which you could hire a person to do this for 100. And then that person gets access to our data 24/7. That's My Expert we provide customers. And I think we have only more than 20 organizations already buying it. This is how it looks like. So this is it's a vessel card, which is basically all the ship's data. The customers can press My Expert on the top right end here, and it will summarize the vessel insights and tell them, can you hire this vessel to move oil or cargo? It will also screen the internet for adverse media. Is there anything in the media that says that you should or shouldn't do business with this ship. It will also help you, the customer, after you get the analysis and after you screen the media, also create the email, which is the auto generation of the email flow, which will just save you like 30 minutes. So it's a productivity tool that saves you 30 minutes, but it also is an expert that helps you read this and analyze this from an expert perspective. I hope this is a useful demonstration. In terms of use cases and ROIs, it's clear the ROI is from 5x for small organizations to 88x for large organizations. It allows our customers to standardize their communications, their level of executions, and to just grow more. In relation to the results, when we came to market, we say we believe we're going to grow about 20% per year. And what you see here in blue is the ACV growth, which is essentially like ARR. ACV is annual contract value. And you're seeing that over time, over the last few years, 3 years or 4 years, we've been growing the ACV at a CAGR of 31.2%, and the revenue recognition by about 25%. And I think what it shows is the ACV is the best predictor of future revenue. So when the ACV is up 31%, it means the revenue is going to go up as well. So I think this gives us a lot of forecastability, predictability for our revenue, predictability for our expenses and our growth. And I think it's all positive. We're a pure SaaS company. And by the way, we also expense all of our R&D. So we don't capitalize anything in case anybody was wondering. This shows you the story of diversification of the company, from a company that in 2019 did business predominantly with governments around the world, to a company that has grown its commercial business, which is the majority of our strategy and investment. I think it's growing quite fast. If you look at our ACV growth between H1 23 and H1 24, you can see an almost 40% growth in worldwide governments, 20% in the US, and 41% in commercial. We're seeing that actually growth continue. So I think our commercial strategy, I think, is panning out very nicely. And obviously combined, that gets us to the whatever 37%. I think what you can also see is that we've effectively, if the commercial revenue was 33.6 million in 21, the half year in 24 was 5.5. So it's a pace of more than 11 million per year. So essentially, we've tripled our commercial business in the last 3 years, and obviously grew our RW government business. I want to refer to the growth in the United States government, which has slowed down a bit. I think the US had a bumpy ride in terms of their predictability of the government, their ability to execute. The fact that the Congress and the House were not ruled by the same party, I think it's going the right way now, as far as we can understand. And we expect that growth to reaccelerate. This is the number of customers. As you can see, with significant growth in the number of customers, especially in the commercial market, which you can see, I think, in these charts. Earlier in the year, or I think last year, we focused on enterprise businesses. So I think we don't expect to see the commercial customers double, because we prefer quantity over quality, I think. We really are trying to optimize the net retention rate number. I think it's going the right way. I think our customers are doing more business with us. I think in Q2, if I remember correctly, 50% of the new revenue was existing customers. So it's all good. I think once you acquire a customer, you want to grow together with them. These are the operating results. I think effectively you'll see in H1 the EBITDA loss dramatically reduced. So we committed to the market that we're going to be run rate break even at the end of this year, which we're confident we're going to be. You can see the EBITDA loss in H1 going to 1.3 million, so reduced by whatever 70%. So you see the revenue going up significantly year over year, but the expenses not significantly going up. And I think going forward, that's what I think you'll see. We're going to run a profitable company with sustainable growth. We're going to do our best to still stay at the top of the leaderboard chart. This is how you're supposed to look at the company's model long term on a standalone basis. So the revenue growth is expected to be around 25%. The margins are already upwards than 80%, I think, for the half year and going forward, which is great. It's the highest margins we've ever had. R&D as a factor of overall revenue is going down, as well as sales and marketing and GA, and hopefully EBITDA is going up. So this is kind of the model on a long-term basis. I think you can think about another way to think about it is this way: is people we buy data and effectively we make it more than 14x than what we pay them. So if we pay $1, then this year I think we're 30 something. I think that wraps it up. I think overall we are seeing strong growth. Happy and honored to be the fastest growing company in the UK stock market. Margins are up over 80%. Losses dramatically down in H1. You should expect that also for H2, I think, going even down more. Revenue going up. I think it's a hot market. A lot of things are happening. Acquisitions, customers, generative AI opens up our opportunity. We're excited. We're fully funded. We're at it. We'd love to see you as part of our journey. Thank you very much, Richard, for the opportunity to chat.
Well, thank you. That's a fantastic presentation. So let's just go back one step. This is from John.
Sure.
So could you give more details on your patents and your strategy for protecting IP? And I think you could add on a question to that, which is how do shareholders know whether your IP is actually working in sense of being a good investment in the long term, or how long would they wait to know whether that is the case?
Well, I think it's two different questions. In terms of IP, we have a series of patents. If I take a step back, in the software world, it is not that clear that patents equals protection about IP, because they're not that enforceable. It's not hardware. Okay, so having said that, we do have a strong patent on the fusion and the process for cleaning data and connecting it. We were awarded another patent a week and a half ago, and you can Google them. So if you Google our company name and the Office of Patents in the US, you'll see we were awarded another patent last week, I think, or a week and a half ago, for GPS manipulation, which is spoofing, which is very good for our business. Having said that, the best way to look at it is the company growth and the customer base, in my view. And if you have companies like Exxon, BP, Shell, BHP Billiton, BHP Billiton, Vale, Maersk Tankers, Oldendorf, Legentia, Scan Global, these are all blue chip names that work with our company on a consistent basis. They're growing, they're trusting us. You can look at leadership, which I think you can look at our management and our board. And I think you can look at our results, which I think is the most important thing. And I think we've been delivering results and growth. We've upgraded twice to this year our expectations. We still have a month and a half to go. We're very optimistic. That's that perspective. In terms of is it a good investment, the answer is if we'll continue to be the fastest growing company in the UK stock market, right now traded about 4x, 3.5 to 4x revenues. I think read the analyst reports and the brokers' recommendations. I believe there are 3 recommendations by brokers. I think it's Zingers, it's Panmore's, and it's Canaccord Genuity. And obviously, make your own mind. My view, margins going up, growth going up, customers doing more is probably a good idea.
Okay, thank you for that comprehensive answers. But from Debbie, we've got a question. What are the limitations on accelerating the growth of your sales and marketing teams? And I think an add-on from another question is, are you growing faster than your customers are able to cope to pay you?
Okay, second question, no. At the history of the company, we don't have any bad debt or bad payments history. So they're able to pay us. I think we're not overspending on R&D, I think, because the way we work with our customers is in partnership. So we come to them with a product, and we kind of co-build the product with them. Actually, the product was launched 2 weeks ago, called Early Detection, was co-built with customers. And the day of the launch, we had 3 paying customers. And there's another product which wasn't launched publicly yet, which we shipped a couple of weeks ago, which also have pre-launch 3 paying customers. So I think it shows you that we work with our customers to buy the products before they're launched, and gives you an indication that we're building the things they want and are repeatable, by the way, because we want to build repeatable products in the pace they're able to buy. I hope that answers the question, Richard or Debbie.
Thank you. There's an anonymous question, and I will read it out to you. Share-based comp has been around 10% of revenue since 2022, which seems excessive. What drives the requirement for such high US style share comp?
US style outcomes. That's the answer. You want top talent. We're, I believe, one of the only generative AI and AI companies in the UK stock market. You want to be the fastest growing company in the UK stock market. You want to deliver the breakneck pace. Breakneck pace. You want AI engineers. You want the top salespeople. You want the top management. You know,
Got to pay for it.
my view, if you can continue growing that way, and we're one of the fastest growing companies in our industry, then you need to retain top talent to do that. And I'm driving people extremely hard because I only care about outcomes. And if I may, Richard, add something, we were the 20th best high-tech company to work for, and we're one of the best employees for 7 years straight. So I think obviously our team feels that, which is good. It's good news for retention.
So staff retention and staff growth is not a problem, basically.
I don't think we want to grow the staff much more, and I don't think it's definitely not a problem. But it's not a problem because it's a focus.
Yes.
I think when you run a company, you're focused, then you probably prevent problems and maybe you create opportunities.
Yeah. Okay. I've got another anonymous question. This is much more
Sure.
specific.
Go
By
ahead.
how much percentage does ARPU increase by upselling each MAI early detection and advanced intelligence?
Okay, so we've seen the average sales price for a commercial customer in the H1 grow from $63,000 to $70,000, which is good news. So it's about 12% or so. MAI Expert increases the price per user by about 15%, and early detection by about for government customers it doubles it. Advanced intelligence doubles the price per user. That's our expectation. And in other segments, it still remains to be seen. So I think these are significant growth opportunities. My goal is to get to the net retention rate up to 120 plus, so we can grow 20% from our existing customers. I think we're on track, and 10+% more from new customers. I think it's achievable in this rate.
Thank you very much. I think we're basically run out of time. Very much
Okay.
appreciate you coming along and talking to everybody. Anyway, once again, thank you very much to everybody. I hope you've all learned something from the forum, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you and goodbye.